Welcome to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show, the first coaches show of this new football season, presented, of course, by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. Also brought to you by Sir Dyke Yamaha, our veterinary, Polylift Boat Lifts, the Missouri Coalition for Roadway Safety, Buckle Up, Phone Down, and Lake Ozark Real Estate, Jonathan Hartenstein, Broker Associate. So we have got I want to say the new head coach of the Camdenton Lakers, Par Pitts, here with us, but you are the new head coach, but you've actually been here for a while, right?
Yeah, you know, we came back in 2014, so we've been here a while, yeah. And it seems like, you know, I talked to our guys last week that Friday was our 40th football activity since I became head coach. And really, in the regular seasons, there are only 40 more opportunities to practice.
Wow!
So I look at it like we are at that halfway point of the regular season. Hopefully, you can get to extend that as you go to the playoffs.
That's amazing. I didn't realize you guys put in so much work going into the season, but makes sense, right?
Yeah, it includes spring practice in Missouri. They open that up where you have spring practice. You have summer activities. Then we had Friday was our 11th activity in the preseason, so it adds up. And when you look at it like that, you're like, oh my goodness, we have got a long ways to go, but we've gone a long ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're sitting here in sweltering heat, right? I was just looking at my phone. It says it feels like 109. How, as a head coach, do you handle the heat and practice in that and you know, try to keep the kids healthy?
Well, it's changed over the years. In the old days, we would just grind through it. You know?
Yeah.
But, you know, we've gotten smarter, and hopefully we are going to be protect our players, protect our coaches, and really put them in a position to be the best on Friday, you know. So we're going to limit our time outside, try to get as much done as we can, watching film and walkthroughs and even some stuff inside. But when we get our chance to get on the field, when the temperature gets where it needs to be, then every rep has double the value of a normal practice. And so we just want to make sure our guys are ready for Friday, because a tired, sore, dehydrated guy can't perform like he can if you can keep him up to where he needs to be.
Absolutely, and we were kind of laughing. I mean, I'm older than you by far, but I remember the day when the coaches made you practice in this stuff and you didn't get water unless you earned it, you know, but times have changed. They take care of the health a lot better now.
Yeah, we are significantly more educated in the effects that the heat has on you, and hydration. You know, hydration protects all of your systems, and so we want to keep our guys safe. And you know, like I talk to them all the time. The most important ability is availability. If you aren't available to play because of injury and all kinds of other things, like it's really hard to impact the game.
That's a really, really good point. You won a state football championship as a Camdenton Laker under Coach Bob Shore. What year was that?
1986.
1986.
Yeah.
I bet Coach Bob Shore made you work in the heat, didn't he?
He did. Actually, you know, there was one game in the preseason we had to move it back. We were at Fulton, and we were supposed to start at 7:30, and they moved it all the way back to 8:30 because of the heat.
Wow.
And I'm glad they did, because it was a tough environment as we were in the whole year.
Wow.
Because of the heat and humidity.
Yeah, smoking hot. Okay, so game number one coming up Friday night. You are at home against Rolla, a longtime rival. When we come back here on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show, we'll take a look at the Rolla Bulldogs and what we have in store Friday night. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back with the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Being a successful Laker athlete takes hard work, discipline, and teamwork, much like our work here at Polylift Boat Lifts. If you envision your team being the best, you will be the best. The effort you put into building your team and working together as one unit always pays off. And remember, Lakers, who's got it better than us? Congratulations to all the Laker athletes from all of us at Polylift Boat Lifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build Poly lifts.
Welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. We are here on the Camdenton Lakers practice field in the middle of the heat, getting ready for game number 1 of the season Friday night. A game, by the way, you can see right here on Lake TV. Camdenton Lakers in the debut as head coach for Coach Par Pitts here against the Rolla Bulldogs. So what does this Rolla Bulldog team bring to the table this year?
Well, you know, from what we've seen in the jamboree from Friday, they are extremely physical. They're big. They've got good size at almost every position. They are a flex bone team, so they're going to base out of the option, and so they're going to run a little bit of outside veer and midline option, and then try to get you with play action. And they were very effective. They're a young team, but super talented. We know that their sophomores have had a great way up, in terms of having a lot of success every year that they've played, and then they're stepping in and filling some of those holes. But you wouldn't tell if you didn't know the roster. You would think they're all juniors and seniors because they're big, strong-looking guys.
Wow, which Rolla's kind of known for over the years. And they've got a new head coach this year. What do you know about their new head coach?
Well, Coach Heflin was the head coach at Washington when we had the opportunity to play them, and so we have a little bit of interaction there. I know he's from Rolla. He's a Rolla graduate, so that's always unique and fun to come home and be a part of it. And so I know his guys are going to be very fundamentally sound. They're not going to try to do things that don't fit their personnel or their experience. So we know they're going to be fundamentally sound, and we're going to have to stop the option game. And the option makes you be disciplined and puts you in some positions. If somebody does somebody else's job, we could be in for some trouble.
Yeah, might be trying to chase them down.
Yes.
And Rolla was good enough last year. You had to play them twice, once in the playoffs. They were good enough to make make it that far, so that was pretty good. Did you have some good matchups against Rolla when you were playing back in the day?
We did, actually. When I was in 7th and 8th grade, they beat us badly.
Really?
When we got to play them. Actually, only 8th grade, because I don't believe they had 7th grade then. But we struggled against them my 8th grade and freshman year. And then as we went through, there were some tight games. I remember when I was a sophomore, I believe we had to kick a field goal late in the game to win that one. So it's always a challenge when you're going to play them, because they've got good tradition. They've got a great weight room. They've got kids that are committed to doing things right. So it'll definitely be a challenge.
Absolutely. Who are going to be your guys this year? What leaders do you need to step up to have a good year? Well,
up front, our offensive and defensive line has got to be effective in what they're doing. They sort of have to dominate the line of scrimmage, and so that would include Garrett Hilton, who's a 3-year starter, who's one of our leaders up front. Jeshua Balderas is a defensive leader at the defensive line position. Those guys are going to definitely have to lead that group and gain experience quickly, because many of them are new to what they're doing. Cade Durnan has done a great job in the preseason and the summer at quarterback. We know he's going to be able to lead and to make some plays. Blake Ford has done a great job carrying the football and being a slash running back slash receiver, and Kyle Edson is a guy that's going to make an impact on both sides of the ball for sure. Spencer Mellencamp is one of our guys that started on defense last year that can make some things happen, and our leading tackler from last year's team, Sam DeMott. So we're excited about him being back, and he's kind of been on the shelf for a little bit this summer, but I think he'll be back Friday.
Wow, okay, you do have a lot of good talent coming back. So there you go. That's Coach Par Pitts, first year head coach, but you've been a head coach before, went to the state championship, so a lot of great coaching knowledge here. So we'll talk with Coach Par every week. Coming up next, we're going to head over across town, talk with Shannon Jolly, and find out what's going on with the Osage Indians here on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. The high school football season is here. Join William Holtz and Mike Bissell this Friday night, August 25th, for the opening game showdown between Ozark Conference rivals Camdenton and Rolla. It's the Lakers and Bulldogs at Bob Shores Stadium. Game 1 for new Lakers head coach Par Pitts. Join us for the COMC pregame show at 6:30. Kickoff set for 7. High school football's opening night this Friday, Camdenton and Rolla on Lake TV.
You're up to 60% more likely to survive a crash if you're wearing a seatbelt. What else do you wish you had 60% more of? 60% more ice cream? 60% more weekend?
Happy Monday.
It's Tuesday, Doug.
60% more is better. And while seatbelts can't help you get more frozen deliciousness, they can help you survive a crash, which is kind of a bigger deal. Simple actions save lives.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
And welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. As you can see, we've made our way to the School of the Osage, home of the Indians, and head coach Shannon Jolly. Coach, it is so good to see you again. I missed you in the offseason.
Man, there's not a long line of people that say that. So I can't wait to tell my wife that, actually. So now we're glad to be back, guys, and it's been an awesome summer. We were blessed with a lot of positive things, and we're glad to be back. It's high school football season.
Kind of hard to believe, you know. It's like, although it's still so hot, it kind of doesn't seem like football season yet. How do you handle this heat when you practice with the guys, trying to get them ready for the season? How do you deal with all this heat?
Well, first of all, you try not to talk about it very much.
Yeah.
And because it's part of it. But we practiced this morning. You know, I got on the phone with 3 or 4 of my mentors across the state, some great guys that have been doing it even longer than I have, which is harder to find now. Right. But anyway, they talked about, we're moving Tuesday and Wednesday's practice back to 7 p.m., turn the lights on. Everybody really has similar protocol, but we just make sure everybody's hydrated. I'm pretty confident we could practice at 4 and be hydrated properly, but that doesn't miss you. And our athletic trainer doesn't see that it's the same setup.
It's a different era, isn't it? Because I remember in the old days, like Texas A&M, if anybody's read the book, the Junction Boys, they were out there working them in the sun and the heat and not giving them water. It's kind of surprising nobody died, but we can't do that anymore.
18 years ago, we practiced over at Heritage Elementary, where they used to play, and it's down in a big pit. And you talk to some of our alumni, and they take a lot of pride in that. But 18 years ago, we didn't have this conversation.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm not saying we shouldn't be. We want to make sure that player safety is the top priority. But if you had to ask me and pin me down, I'm not sure exactly what changed.
Right, yeah. Probably a lot of lawsuits are what changed. So are you pleased with the workouts, where your team is going into game 1 this week?
You'll hear me say this. I love this group of kids. This summer has been refreshing. We had some really talented players last year that we talk about conforming versus transforming. Mm-hmm. When you talk about recreating culture, you want kids to transform. You want them to live it, breathe it, walk it. We had some guys last year that conformed and did a really nice job, and we were able to win some games. But to transform completely, it takes that 3 or 4 years. And these kids are on target to really do some great things in the future. So this summer was a lot of fun, and a lot of great attitudes, and starting to put the pieces together.
Yeah, and you were talking about last year's team. I mean, just an amazing run. Lost the first 3, then won 7 in a row, went to the district championship, and you did lose a lot of talent off that team, didn't you?
Yeah, we had 17 seniors.
Yeah. Ooh.
We had 17 seniors, and 2 of our upcoming offensive linemen moved out of the state with their parents. Just that's how it works out. So we were pretty thin in that position group, and we just worked hard, all summer to kind of replace it. But like I said, there were great kids last year, and that 7-game winning streak and that run I was so proud to do that with those group of kids, because that's the first winning season they've had in their football history.
Wow.
So you think about those seniors, and those guys grind all summer long and all year, and provide them and help them be a part of a winning season was one of the more proud things I've had in my career.
That was one of the greatest turnarounds I've seen in high school football in a long time. So we're talking Osage Indians football, game 1 coming up against Jeff City. We'll talk about Jeff City coming up momentarily on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show.
Hi, I'm Greg Surdike from Surdike Yamaha in Osage Beach. For over 50 years, Surdike Yamaha has produced an after-the-sales service, during the sales service. You ride on our reputation, and we need a lot of good employees to come help make that dream happen. So what we're looking for sales, we're looking for parts, we're looking for service. We're in Osage Beach. You can contact us at SurdikeYamaha.com, get on our website, do an application. Again, we're at Surdike Yamaha. We've been doing it for 50 years, and we're going to keep on going. We want some good employees like you to come be part of the team.
As you dream of your lake life, I invite you to dream bigger. Topsider Condos, the coolest place to live at the lake.
So what do you think? Your dream of living in luxury at Lake of the Ozarks could be but one phone call away. I wouldn't wait. Topsider.
And welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show, talking with head coach Shannon Jolly of the Osage Indians. Went to the district championship last year. What a great momentum-building year that was. This is going into your third year back here at Osage. First year was a struggle implementing the new everything. Last year you win 7 in a row, go to the district championship. This year you lost 17 guys off that team, so this year might be interesting.
It's starting over in a way, but not. What I mean by that is we're starting over with new guys in positions.
Yeah.
But the cool part about it is we're, that third year as we move in, now guys have an idea of the expectations in our system, our terminology. All that stuff is not new anymore. And that's really one of the biggest obstacles you have is getting that stuff in place. So now it's just, letting God take care of these kids and get them to grow and get stronger and faster in our strength and conditioning program. But like I said, I love where we're at. And, but again, the responsibility comes with, those limited amount of seniors. We want to give them the best opportunity to win this year.
Sure, absolutely. They put in some tough, hard years over the years. So this Jefferson City team you've got this week, the Jays, great history with that program. What's with this Jays team? What do they like to do? What do you guys need to do?
Well, we're similar in some ways. I think probably athletically they're a little bit more gifted than us this year. And, if you were at the game last year, it was a close ball game in the first half. Our kids competed, and it was cool for me to watch them get in like, hey, we can play with these guys. It was very important for me to set some higher expectations for our kids and our community. Like, hey, this is the football we want to play. You and I spoke earlier even about jamboree settings, about possibly coming down and jamboreeing with Camdenton next year. Just continuing to set those bars a little bit higher. And that goes, and that's respect to Jeff City and Camdenton. In order to win a state championship in Class 3, you have to beat teams like Blair Oaks. And in order to beat teams like Blair Oaks, you have to play above what your expectations are sometimes to kind of weather that type of competition to be prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing that I think every football fan can see in your 2 years now going into the third year, you have begun that process here with the Osage Indians. Who are the kids that are going to need to step up for you this year in order to have some success?
It's just really not about like those individuals. It's a group of kids, some young kids coming in and collectively to pull together. I really couldn't, Chris, come up with one or two kids that, hey, he needs to do this, he needs to do that. We talked today in practice, Landon Childs is one of our better players, and he is a class act on and off the field. I'd like, hey, Landon, you know what to say here, but you got to say it now. Right. Before, where you could be on your island and you understand your assignment, now you've got to start helping the others. So as we grow in sharing knowledge and sharing preparation from position group to position group and across the field, that's going to be key for us this year, is for the collectively as a group to continue to grow.
And Tri-County Conference, you mentioned it earlier, Blair Oaks, defending state champions, I believe, maybe 2 in a row. This Tri-County Conference is good. They're obviously going to be the team to beat again this year.
Yeah, and they've set the standard, and that's, the challenge accepted. And that's what we just need to continue to work at. But we got great teams throughout the Tri-County Conference. And, as we get ready, it's our responsibility to do our part to represent that conference and make sure that we're as competitive or more competitive than we were last year.
Okay. And we will have the Osage Indians Week 2 on Lake TV against Moberly, I believe. So looking forward to that. That is your COMC High School Football Coaches Show for this week, presented by Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. Also brought to you by Surdike Yamaha, our veterinary, Polylift Boat Lifts, the Missouri Coalition for Roadway safety. Buckle up, phones down. And Lake Ozark Real Estate, Jonathan Hartenstein, broker associate. Be sure to watch this Tuesday through Fridays at 10, 2, and 6. Thank you for joining us for the High School Football Coaches Show. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.